Hello folks and welcome to the second F1 Manager 2022 stream. Hello, how are we all doing? I hope you're all good. My name's Steve James, I'm a community manager on F1 Manager 2022 alongside Chris.
Hello.
Hello.
How you doing, mate?
I'm not too bad, yeah, how are you?
I'm good, yeah, hyped. Chat's hyped, I'm hyped.
Very hyped.
Excited to do, second ever F1 Manager 2022 live stream.
Second ever stream, yeah. So let's give you a quick rundown of what we're going to do today. As you may have seen from the title, we are going to be playing the game for the first time live on stream. Not for the first time, but for the first time live on stream.
Right. Yeah.
So anything could happen. Anything could happen.
Yes, I'm more worried about my personal, because I'm the designated driver for this, as you'll see coming up. I'm more worried about my personal performance and being outed for it. But yeah. I mean, it's the first. You know, a lot of you folks may have already seen some gameplay of F1 Manager 2022. That's sort of some early preview stuff that we've been able to show. Some really nice gameplay showing off. But this is actually the first time that live people will be able to come and check out the game in situ, like we'll actually be playing it in front of you. So that's really cool to do, even in this early stage. We're still a couple of months away from release, so to be able to do it now is absolutely awesome. And we've got a fun show lined up. We
have, yes. So just to give you a bit of an idea, we are going to be going through an entire 7-day period of a race week. So we're going to be going through all of the management options back at HQ. We're going to be heading to the race weekend itself, and we're going to be showing you the race. So we're going to jump into it. Should we jump into it, Chris?
Should we go straight in? Yeah.
I think we should.
No hanging about.
Everybody else is just saying show gameplay.
Just show gameplay, yeah.
Fingers crossed for some embarrassing moments.
Yeah. Less of us, more of... Yes, it's very true. Less of us, more of the game. And here you go. There you can see it. So this is the home page, basically your dashboard, your home area for F1 Manager 2022. Whenever you load up the game from when you previously saved it, or even when you boot it up for the first time, this will pretty much be where you land when you start up. So as you can see here, we're in control of AlphaTauri. So this is the first time we've actually shown off AlphaTauri as a team to control in F1 Manager 2022. We have our two drivers, Pierre Gasly, Yuki Tsunoda, and as you can see, we are at the beginning of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix race week. So we're going to be showing off race week at Baku.
Yeah.
So we're running all the way from Monday, so building towards the race weekend, and then doing the race, and going through all of that, and then we finish there. So an entire 7 days to go through.
Yes.
Which is really good to show off, because there's a lot for us to get through. Yeah, so I guess, we can get straight into it.
Let's do it, yeah.
You can see, so obviously as we're at Baku, there were a few races into the season. Not done very well so far. So
where are we? We're seventh.
With one solitary point.
1 point.
And trust me, the team went berserk when we got that.
Where did you get your point? So this is Chris's save.
It was the last. It was the last race. So I think it was Monaco. I think we managed to get a point. So
nice.
yeah, over the moon about that. There were absolute scenes in the paddock, but we got a point. But we're confident that we can get some more in this race. So yeah, let's try and make it happen. But before we get into the actual race weekend, there's a lot more things that we're going to get into.
Yes,
so
we're going to show everybody.
Is there anything in particular we should run through first, Steve? We've got a bit of a running order we wanted to do, right?
Yes. So you've obviously we've gone over kind of where we are with the team so far. So we're AlphaTauri. We're sitting in 7th, and we're looking now in our inbox. So let's just make sure we've got no important unread messages.
Yeah, just a couple of things here. The kind of things that you'll see as a save goes on in F1 Manager 2022. So you're getting board confidence check-ins. They're relatively satisfied with how things are going. Obviously, the results aren't exactly what we wanted, but financially we're doing okay, and that's a big aspect too of being a team principal in the game. It's results are the be-all and end-all, but you need to make sure that financially you're keeping the team on track too.
So can we have a look at the actual board's confidence in us at the moment?
So this is the board section. As you can see here in the tab, you have board, and this is what comes up.
Okay.
I accidentally clicked budget there. If we go into board confidence, so that's kind of what we're looking at. Yeah. So you can see here. So season objective for us really is 6th and above, and so currently, as it says, we're below target.
We're not far off.
Work to do. Yeah, work to do. But we'll do our best to achieve that. But as you can see, finance is happy. So we managed to keep the books balanced nicely. And hopefully we'll continue that as the season goes on. But the immediate target for us is to get results and move up the constructors table. So
so we're currently 7th in the overall standings at the moment. Then you said so. If we need to satisfy the objective of 6th or above, we need a good result in Baku.
Yeah, well, to kick things off, definitely. There's a lot of races to go, but I feel like I'm actually speaking like a team principal now. You just ask me a journalistic question.
Isn't it weird? Like we're on the cameras, and I'm immediately like.
But Ted, it's a long season.
We're only 5 races in, so. So we've got plenty of time to improve here. Okay.
There's more to do. But I guess we mentioned the finances, and that's an aspect of it.
Let's have a look at our finances as well then, please.
Yeah, so season, there's so much we can break down. There's only, we won't show absolutely everything today because we'll be here all day, but there's so much to get through. But here's just a glimpse of maybe a couple of menus you might have not seen yet, even if you're really closely following our channels.
So this is our projection for where we're going to end up by the end of the season.
Yeah, and so as you can see, things are looking pretty decent right now. We've got plenty in budget that we can look at. A lot of that will go towards developing facilities, developing the car. Potentially it can come down to recruitment, whether that's staff or drivers. We'll look at that in a sec. But yeah, that you can get loads of different looks here. Some really detailed stuff here, like really crunches the numbers about the kind of money that's coming in and out of your team and the balance based
big
on
outage
that.
There on the driver contracts and the car development, but a bit of money in for the sponsorships as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so that's obviously quite an important factor as well. Can we have a quick look at the sponsorships thing? I know that's been I know sponsorships has been a big question from the community, how this works. So can we just have a quick look through these menus and go through this?
So we're on the sponsorships screen here. So this is one of the areas in the game that will develop as your save goes along. So you'll see here, and it's quite similar to other areas such as engine suppliers. We've talked about this before about if you're a customer team, as so it's called in F1 Manager 2022, and you want to change your engine supplier, you can do that, but only after the first season. Options begin to open up about engine suppliers. It's kind of similar when it comes to sponsorships too. So we have initial obligations here from sponsors that we need to try and hit as the season goes on, or that we are already obligated to do so. Okay. And you can see how they can affect a team. It's not simply a case of you accept them or reject them and you get some money. They can affect your team as the season goes on. So to use the example here of race hospitality. So your team must host a sponsor event in the pit box during races. This will distract your pit crew and slightly reduce their performance. So you're agreeing to allow this to happen. You get some income that comes from it. But as a direct result of that, the negative is that your pit crew can be affected.
Okay, and so there's 3 of those per season. Yeah. So 3 of those times per season, your pit crew is going to potentially be distracted by that.
Yeah, and it's similar things here. So driver appearances, like it's good, it brings in money, but their driver experience is paused because they're taking more time away from telemetry, data research, actually being on the track, and they're doing these appearances. So yeah, and it's a similar thing for race weekend driver appearances. So this is what we have for the first season, but as things open up, as you progress in your save, especially after the first season, more things will open up in terms of sponsors. You can accept or deny them, you can move some things around, and we'll have a little look just before we get into the race weekend about certain additions you can make to on a specific race weekend. You can potentially get bonuses if you hit certain objectives, or you can lose out if you don't. So we'll look at that in a few minutes.
Okay, all right. Well, let's carry on then. Let's go through. We were going to have a quick look through a couple of the facilities options as well. Yeah, just to see where we are with our facilities. This is another big area of the game that you're going to need to focus on, of course. Where you actually build and test all of this, very, very important equipment in Formula One is going to be quite paramount. So let's have a look at these then.
Yeah. As you said, facilities is a huge part of the game. As a team principal, it's not just about developing your car, working with your drivers, it's looking after the entire team and creating a structure within your team that gives you a platform to succeed. And that means looking after all different areas of a team. So whether that's, as you can see here, it breaks down into 3 specific kind of areas, which we'll look into in a second. So car development, staff, and operations. And you handle all of those. They have different options that you need to look after. The better they perform, the more potential you have to succeed when it comes to race day. Yeah. So you can see here, I guess we haven't really mentioned it, but you probably see that a watermark at the top. Obviously, this is all work in progress.
Yes.
We're still, the team are working diligently behind the scenes to continue making more improvements and to, just tweak everything and optimize it. But this is the facilities area. So if you have a quick look at car development, so these are things like your factory, design center, wind tunnel, CFD, suspension. So these are the things that directly affect car development. Okay. So the better you can maintain and improve and upgrade these facilities, the more potential there is to unlock car performance when you make upgrades. And
the factory is currently being upgraded? That's why we've got that nice purple?
Yeah, so you can see here on the right-hand side, every sort of key detail what's going in. So earlier on in the save, we decided we wanted to upgrade the factory. What that means if we do that, so you can see facility effects. Project capacity is improved and development speed is improved. So that means when you go to develop a car part, doing this upgrade and moving it up to level 3, as you can see here, means that car parts will be developed faster, which is massive.
And you've got more capacity to do so, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, and that's part of capacity, and there's other things that can affect that too, in terms of the amount of engineers you can onboard and commit to every single piece of car part development. But for this one, project capacity there, that's what it pertains to. But yeah, so that's car development facilities, but then you have staff facilities, so a couple of things such as the team hub or the scouting department. So Team Hub provides a space for staff to take a break and study their craft. So
this helps morale.
Yeah, and morale, weekly experience gain. It helps your staff out. It helps them develop faster. So that's your kind of normal staff stuff. And then operations is more again. So as you can see here, 3 of the facilities are already built. So that's the boardroom, the hospitality area, and the weather centre. But there's actually 3 that aren't built. Okay. So that can change depending on what team you start with in F1 Manager 2022. So you might take over a team that's perhaps has a higher budget, was further upgraded, and they might have more of these facilities, or might have upgraded them more already before you even get to the team, because they are higher up the grid. And so that's somewhat relative too. So we've got this in. Perhaps we should maybe build something.
Yeah, go on. Let's do a memorabilia room.
Yeah,
that sounds nice for all of our upcoming trophies.
Exactly. Yeah. Where are we going to put all the trophies?
Exactly. There's no point. We're going to start. What is it? Dress for the job you love. Dress for the job you want.
You want. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
So that's it. We're going to make ourselves a nice memorabilia room for all of that upcoming AlphaTauri.
Inspire your staff with a display of your team's history. We are creating history. I feel that's a very team principle thing to say.
It is. Yeah. What we're about here at AlphaTauri is creating history.
Absolutely. We'll have that. There'll be the memorabilia room, and then there'll be a big sign above it, creating history.
All right.
So team attractiveness, that will improve, and morale for staff and drivers will also improve a little bit if we build it. So if we build it, obviously all of these things, as we should mention when it comes to facility upgrades and refurbishment, comes at a cost.
Yeah.
So this one, it's going to be $440,000. Let's go for it. So you can see we have our cash remaining here. We've got plenty in hand. There's also a monthly upkeep you need to keep in mind, which will come out of your budget, and you see that in all your reports. But let's do it. Let's build the memorabilia room.
And this is, of course, we showed that finances projection screen. All of this is going to factor into that. All of this is, you're going to be looking at those kind of live screens of your finances effectively, and see them, changing based on the fact that you're doing these things.
So that's going to be a key part of sort of the gameplay flow of F1 Manager 2022. Is yes, you've got the racing and the results, but you need to always be keeping an eye on facilities and making sure that you are A, looking after them and upgrading them when you can, but B, also not overdoing it and end up spending too much budget on it, so you lose out for things like car development. It's all a balancing act.
That's it.
Right. So I think if we continue a little bit further, we will open up some other things. So as you can see here, we've completed some scouting.
Okay, Oscar Piastri scouting complete. Just letting you know that our scouts have finished their report on Oscar Piastri. I've attached the information we've gathered to this email. So let's have a quick look at this then. We've had a quick scout of Oscar Piastri.
Yeah. So scouting is again another key factor of F1 Manager 2022. So as a lot of you may already know, so as well as of course the F1 drivers that are in F1 Manager 2022, there are also the current main reserve drivers for each team, and that includes of course Oscar Piastri, who's the reserve driver for Alpine, and we'll also have F2 and F3 drivers as well. Recruitment is a big part of F1 Manager 2022. We're actually going to be sharing some details very soon about to go into even more detail about how recruitment works.
Yes.
But for now, it's a massive part of the game, whether that's developing the team that you have or deciding you want to onboard potentially better or more talented individuals, whether that's staff or drivers. So Piastri, we know he's a hot topic in F1. Yeah. We're both big F1 fans. We follow the news. We know that there's always a lot of chatter this year about Oscar Piastri.
Yes.
So we thought we'd give him a scout.
Yeah,
and see what he's all about.
We've done all right. So we can see here, what was it there about his contract remaining. So we've got a bit of time left on his contract, but it's not too long. So 7 months left on the contract. It's not years, so in theory, there's an option there for us to maybe,
So the buyout fee, because of that, is lower. So a buyout fee, if there's a driver you're trying to recruit that's already with an F1 team, there will be a buyout fee you need to think about. But that number will change, and one of the key factors of that will be how long is left on that contract.
Yes.
So that's a positive thing. We can see his expected salary and what we should sort of aim towards if we were to approach him for negotiation.
Okay.
And we can see that a notable attribute is reaction. So, and so scouting is a big aspect of this because you won't have all of this information available to you whenever you want to go and look at a driver.
Yeah.
You need to scout a driver to find out these things. So I've just done some standard scouting. We could have done detailed scouting, which would have opened up even more information about Oscar, but we've gone for standard, and this is what we know. We can see there's a lot of potential here because his patience for negotiation very high, and negotiation attitude, he's open to negotiation. So there's
to see.
Yes. So if we wanted to come back to this at some point, there could be a very good chance that we could maybe bring Oscar on board to AlphaTauri. So yeah. Should we? So yeah, just to show how it kind of works.
Yeah, let's scout somebody else.
Yeah, so let's maybe shove a filter on this. So let's look for drivers. Maybe they're still developing around the ages between 22 and 27, but they should have some good experience under the belt at that age.
Yeah, we'd hope so.
I guess this is filtering is going to be a key aspect when it comes to recruitment. There's a lot of drivers and a lot of staff that are in. They're in F1 Manager 2022, so being able to filter is a key thing. So 22 to 27, apply and return, let's see who we got. Yeah, lots of options here. Some currently on the F1 grid, some not. Anybody in particular stand out to you?
Let's have a look. Let's scout...
Got Nick De Vries there, who's of course the reserve for Mercedes.
Let's go with Nick De Vries. Let's have a look.
Okay, so let's do detailed scouting. So that requires, so we've got 4 scouts available. Detailed scouting, here we go. Sorry about that. Detailed scouting reveals a candidate's current morale, salary, any cash bonuses written into their contract, how long they've been in their current contract, and their buyout costs. So that's a lot of details. So it's going to take a little bit of time, 30 days to put that together.
Fair enough, it takes them a while to compile it.
Yes, so let's put a scout on that. We are scouting Nick De Vries, who starts the game as the reserve driver for Mercedes. So there we go. That's kind of a nice little look at how scouting works in F1 Manager 2022.
We'll get that report back in 30 days, but we might miss that one.
Worth it.
But yeah, okay, fantastic. If we continue a little bit further, then
actually, I'd tell you. So there's a couple of things very quickly. Sorry, I shouldn't throw that on you. We should have scouted Enzo Fittipaldi.
We should have, yes, we should have.
I don't know if you want to explain that to anybody who might not have seen it.
Yeah, we just had a little interaction on Twitter where we put out just asking you guys sort of who you're going to be scouting from F2 and F3, and then Enzo Fittipaldi retweeted it or quote tweeted it with his own name. So we enjoyed that quite a lot. So and we got a follow out of it as well. So
let's
got to be done.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so. Yeah,
cool.
and I guess it's worth mentioning as well before we kick on that. Obviously, when you begin the game, it's the real F1, F2, F3 drivers and reserve drivers. But as the game progresses, Steve, it opens up even more.
So you're going to obviously with the fact that we've got the F2 and F3 drivers in there as well, you've already got a kind of contingency for retirees. Eventually people are going to retire across staff and drivers. So a great time to reiterate that we are going to have newly generated drivers in there, created from a pool of random names and stuff to kind of fill the gaps as and when people retire. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I think people as we're going through those pages for drivers, you can see ratings are up there. Obviously, ratings not final, not confirmed yet. As soon as they are, we'll be showing those details and confirm, because we know that's always a hot topic. Ratings for any kind of sports game. So they're not final. We'll confirm that as soon as we can. But yeah, I guess that's a nice little look at scouting. Should we look a little bit maybe around the cars now? So we looked at drivers, we looked at facilities. Maybe we have a look.
Let's take it through to manufacturing complete there on something else you've been working on. Oh, that's the memorabilia.
That's the memorabilia room. So nice and quick job done on the memorabilia room. So that is already going to start bringing in benefits as we saw around morale and things like that. So job done on that. But as you said. So you can see there's a little message just confirming. You can see what's going to change, which is great. That's fantastic. So, let's look at the cars. So, car development and manufacturing is quite a key thing to sort of wrap your head around when you play F1 Manager 2022.
Yes.
So, if we go into the cars section, so I guess you could probably break it down into a couple of key factors when it comes to making parts for your car and improving performance. It's development, and then manufacturing, and then fitting or getting parts, basically. So development and manufacturing are two different things. So development is the process of working with your engineers or your designers to kind of figure out if you want to develop a new front wing. What do you want it to do? What do you want it to do? Yeah, and you will go into the process of developing a part, and we'll show that in a little bit more detail in the near future about exactly what that looks like. Well, actually, we've shown a couple of screenshots about what that kind of looks like with all these different data options you can see. So then you choose how you want to develop and design the part. And then there's manufacturing. So once development is complete, you then have a part that you can create, and that's when your engineers go to work to make it.
Yeah.
So if we go into car parts development, you can see here on the right-hand side that we already have projects underway. So the yellow ones are our development projects. So rear wing, underfloor, you can see that we're currently developing parts of that will hopefully improve the car going forward. Whereas the chassis, the one in blue, is manufacturing. So we've already developed it, we're now making the part.
That's it. That's your spares. And your development stuff is your new stuff. That's
as you can see here.
Easiest way to summarise it.
Yeah. So as you can see here, so in the chassis, actually 3 out of the 4 that we've requested to be made already made. So that means we can fit them. We have new parts for our cars that we can fit.
Lovely.
So if we go into warehouse and into chassis, so you can see here lots of different options, but you've got chassis. So C1 is what you begin with, and it's installed on both cars. But if I hover over A2, 22, C2, on the right-hand side, you can see that if I just sort of flick between the two.
Got a bit of an upgrade there.
Ever so slight, but marginal gains. That's what F1's all about.
That's what it's all about.
So there's improvements around potential top speed, around engine cooling, DRS. So there's a lot of changes you can make it. So you've fitted your parts and you want to install them on your cars. So you select your new part, in this case a chassis part, install on car 1, install on car 2, and there you go. So that's the process. You have development, manufacturing, and then you go and fit the parts. It's a process that you have complete control over, and as a team principal, it's not just a case of I want that and you build it. There's a process to go through that gives you quite a lot of autonomy over how car part development wants. So that's cool. So we've got a new chassis for Baku.
Fantastic. Let's put it to the test.
I guess we will put it to the test. Yeah. So, but that's a good. I guess if I hover over that again, that's a good sign. That's a good sort of visual there of keeping an eye on how things are working in terms of what we're building and what's being manufactured. You can see in there in the summary, your engineers is a big part of that because you need engineers on board to build parts into development. So you have to kind of decide where you want people to go, and you don't want to overcommit engineers, and then you run out of people when you want to develop a new part. So it's a whole thing. There's also research, which we'll go into at a later date, which is all about focusing on the future and how you want to develop your car next season and into the future, which we'll go into at a later date. But I guess that's a bit of a whistle-stop tour of.
We could literally talk about it all day.
Yeah, we could.
We only have so much time to show you this stuff. So please appreciate the fact that we speed through a few of these things while also trying to show as much of it as possible.
Yeah. So I guess I've done a lot of talking here, Steve. I apologise for that.
No, that's okay. Yeah,
we're into kind of the race preparation area. So if I just click onto race prep, do you want to show us maybe?
Yeah, so let's go through it. So obviously, as you're coming up to our next race, as you can see here is Baku. This is going to bring up a couple of options now for you to actually manage your race prep. Is the thing. So as you can see, we've got circuit info here, and this is going to give you just the basic details of the circuit length, lap record, and that kind of stuff. And we can dive even deeper in here to see stuff like the circuit map, sections by speed. We've got car attributes as to what's important around here. You can see on this chart that Baku, we've got a lot of top speed, and it's also quite important to have your acceleration be pretty good here as well. So all of the tracks will have these options to show and go through. And there's a few things as well, like expected strategies. Again, these are kind of ones that may be worth considering, or you can come up with your own entirely if you want to. And there's also previous race history and kind of detail about the actual compounds that you can go through.
You even got like previous race results and stuff that you can check out just for reference. Obviously, last year was a pretty incredible race at Baku. Lots of tyre failures, stops and starts, red flag, I believe. So the old magic button for Lewis Hamilton.
The brake magic.
So that's it. So all kind of things going on, but it was a great weekend for AlphaTauri.
It was.
a podium for Pierre and 7th place to Yuki. So we'll have to go some to match that, I think.
Yes.
But we'll do our
best.
very best.
We'll do our best. So yeah, that's kind of your general kind of circuit overview page, if you will. But we've also got some things here that we need to review as well, like these performance targets. So let's jump into that and have a look through. So we'll focus here on our race targets because we're going to be very active in this one. Fastest lap might be a bit of a gamble.
Yeah, unless we did a specific strategy where maybe we're on the softs very late and on the soft tyre very late and try and block. But even then, I think it's ambitious.
Would it be worth it? Is the question.
I don't think so. No, because this is what we were talking about earlier about you putting, as you can see, it says guarantee. A performance guarantee is an optional performance target that you can set yourself. Sponsors will reward you for achieving that target, but they'll reduce their contribution if you don't hit your own guarantee.
Yes.
So there's a risk and reward here too, whether we want to do that or not. And as you said, is it really worth the risk? Probably not. But
what's our finish position there as well? So we've agreed that we will finish 6th.
That's an incentive. So so there's no potential loss there, as it's part of the obligations, but we'll get a nice little boost if we manage to get one of our drivers up to 6th position. So you never know, we might be able to do that. So qualifying has a couple ones that I thought reach Q2. I feel like that's very achievable.
I think we can reach Q2. Yeah. I would expect to reach Q2. I would be happy to reach Q2.
Cool. So we can add that as a guarantee, and if we achieve it, then we'll get a little extra cash boost for our team if we achieve it. So so for every race weekend, on top of your obligations with sponsors, you have additional targets that you can decide if you want to guarantee or not, and there's a risk reward there. So that feels like a lot of talking and a whistle-stop tour of how you kind of build towards a race. There's things that we haven't shown yet, which we'll show at a later date. But we've had a quick look there at car part development, at how you maintain and upgrade facilities, scouting, all those kind of things. So
there's a lot to happen off the track. We've said it, for how many months now, that there's a lot of action off track as much as there is on track. So that's hopefully a good overview of how that all kind of takes place, or at least some of it. Like you said, we've only shown a very small part of car part development there, when there's plenty of parts, as you saw in the garage there, or the warehouse. So let's take a quick break. We're going to be preparing ourselves for the race weekend, and we're also going to be joined by one of our developer colleagues to give you a little bit more insight into the game as well. So just stay with us, and we'll be back very shortly with a bit of a race gameplay. Yeah, I'll say then.
This is not a challenge for the faint-hearted, where the 20 best drivers in the world come together to take on some of the world's most historic circuits. And that legacy continues today. It's lights out and away we go!
No power. Just stay in the car for a second.
There's not much in it at the front, with the two cars constantly vying for first place. It's a thrilling battle with neither driver giving an inch.
We might still be early in the season, but that doesn't mean we can sit back and relax. Everything is up for grabs, and nothing is certain at this stage. Here we go, with the Azerbaijan Grand Prix.
I think we should be satisfied with the step we've done, at least here.
Oh no, it's a spin!
Pit lane. Go feedback.
Strap yourselves in. This is Formula One.
And as if by magic, we are now joined on the sofa by Andy Fletcher. Hello, Andy. How are you doing?
Guys. Yeah, I'm doing good, man. Thanks.
Good, good. Can you just tell everybody a little bit about your role, what your role is here at Frontier, just so we know who we're talking to?
So I'm Game Director on F1 Manager 2022. So what does that mean? That means I'm in charge of defining and executing on the vision of the game. So you know, we've seen a lot of it here today, but this didn't used to exist. So I had to come along and go, here's what I think the game should be, and work with the incredible disciplines and the talented people that we've got here at Frontier to make it a reality and to see it through to where it is today.
Awesome. All right. Thank you. Well, let's get into it. Let's cut straight back to that race. We've just prepared the race weekend, so let's go to it now.
We are loading it. I guess a reminder, if anybody's just joining us, of course, this is a work in progress build. You know, tweaks to be made. It's still finalising. We've still got a couple of months to go until launch. So, yeah, I guess, and still lots of work ongoing. It never stops you. Absolutely, yeah. We appreciate you taking the time to come and chat with us, because we know it's always a busy time with when it comes to development. So, yeah, it's cool. So here we are, Azerbaijan.
We are.
For round 8, I believe, of the FIA Formula 1 World Championship, to give it its full name, I think.
So getting longer.
Yeah, we're gonna just skip it through a little bit and just get into something we'd like to show. I'll kind of try and continue to steer the car here. Steve, I don't know if you want to chat to Andy about some stuff that we see.
Absolutely. Okay, so we're obviously on our kind of overall prep here, and we've seen the practice 1 screen here. For the sake of time, we're going to kind of skip through these practice sessions. You can choose to manually manage or simulate all of these sessions, just for the sake of we need the time because we're going to show so much. So we're going to speed through these. But if you could just give us a quick overview of what practice entails in the game, Andy.
Sure. So there's a few things really. I mean, practice is obviously where the teams traditionally go out and kind of see how their cars are handling on the track and see their race pace and make any final setups to the car for the driver. So, it's an opportunity to use your reserve driver and gain them some experience on the track as well. It's a very important element if you are looking to scout for new drivers and look at a kind of succession plan. But also, like the aim is to kind of get your drivers as confident as possible. So as you'll see on this screen, that kind of breaks down into a number of goals. You've got track acclimatization, you've got car parts knowledge, and setup confidence. Now, the key factor in giving them a confidence boost is really the setup confidence. So a lot of what you're doing during practice sessions, sending the car out with a number of car setup attributes, like being able to change kind of the wing angles and things like that, having an effect on the traction and the cornering of the car. And basically your driver will tell you how it's feeling as after a number of runs. So you bring the car back in and you kind of tweak it a little bit more and you kind of try and get closer to the to the ideal zone that's right for the driver. And that will improve your setup confidence. But practice is all about how you use that time. I mean, it's 3 hours, 3 sessions of an hour. So it seems like a long time, but actually, cars on the track, there's a lot more you need to do.
Yeah, going through this, you kind of realise how little time you actually have when you start playing this, and you do seem to lose it.
So you can see here, so like you said, track acclimatization, car parts knowledge, setup confidence, and then you've got performance bonus here. So what I assume here is, based on how well you perform in these 3 areas, will then generate performance boosts, as you can see on the right-hand side. So that will, I assume the better you perform basically during practice, the more of a performance bonus you receive going into the rest of the weekend.
Absolutely, yeah. The confidence basically manifests in a performance bonus for that driver, and self-confidence is kind of like it's one of the main things that you're doing. But if you focus purely on that, then you might do fewer long runs, and that means your track acclimatization will kind of falter. It won't go up quite at the rate that it should. So there's a balance to be had with how you use your time.
Balance. That's the key word for everything we do here. I feel like that's the word I say the most when we play
balance in everything.
So like you said, we're going to simulate this just for the
let's simulate it and have a quick look at the results then going into qualifying. So we're gonna speed through our practice here. There you go.
So you'll see here that we sort of get results based on what we were just looking at. But I guess, Andy, the more control and the more you manually put into practice sessions, the more potential there is to achieve those results.
So if you get hands-on, you can eke out those additional bits of confidence and those additional bits of performance bonus.
Yeah. So as you can see, we did okay in practice. So Pierre's up in P10, Yuki is in P15, and I think so. Here you go. So we can see here that they did very well in terms of track acclimatization. So we got some decent time on track, but there's still some work to be done in terms of car parts knowledge, a little bit of setup confidence. But we've gained quite a bit of a performance bonus, which is decent.
But if you got hands-on that setup confidence, you could have refined it a little bit more. Car parts knowledge is an interesting one. So the more you come to tracks with new builds and new aero parts, your car part knowledge is going to kind of decrease, and you're going to have to kind of reset it. So actually deciding whether to go with a new aero package is also a question of, how much do you want to rebuild your car parts knowledge every weekend.
We've seen that throughout the real world F1 season. There's been so many upgrades and upgrade packages that are coming to teams, and they spend the practice sessions, they might make great progress the week before where they've come with a new package that has more potential, but it takes time to find that potential, I guess.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, it can feel like a whole new car, can't it, to some people? We've seen it through drivers already the last couple of seasons.
Yeah. So we're taking a quick look at qualifying. So obviously before a qualifying session gets underway, you can talk to us a little bit about it, but we'll just take a very quick look at it. But you can sort of set instructions for your drivers before they go out on track. Just basically, you're basically in a position to give them every possible chance to succeed when it comes to, to deliver their full potential when it comes to qualifying. Right?
Yeah. So this is the showdown. This determines obviously the starting grid, and you kind of set your run plan. And the key thing is, like, when do you want to send your driver out? There'll be a strategy view in the qualifying, for example, gives you a view of projection of how much traffic is expected to be on the track, and also kind of the grip levels, which will tend to increase towards the end. So you'll see a big, a lot of cars coming out towards the end, but maybe it's better to go out in clean air and less traffic, and picking your moment to see the payoff in terms of how those performance gains you got in practice are actually going to manifest in race pace.
Awesome. So we are interested to see how players challenge that when it comes to launch. But for now, again, in the interest of time, we're going to skip through to qualifying, see how the drivers do. I'm kind of like there's an instinctive part of me. I just want to control it.
I know. There's a constant part of me that wants me to go through this, but we're already 40 minutes into this.
Yeah. So we've got to crack
on.
So both of them nearly got into the next session. So Yuki Tsunoda just dropped out in Q1, but only just by a matter of half a tenth from Mick Schumacher, whereas Pierre Gasly was about a tenth and a half off getting into the shootout into Q3. So it's okay. I'd say that's satisfactory. Yeah, we got into Q2. So one of the sponsor guarantees was to get into Q2. We made sure we did that with Pierre. So a little extra cash boost there. So okay, P11, P16 going into race day, as Yuki having a chat with one of his team as we get ready for race day. So race day, Baku, Azerbaijan. It's not just a case of jumping in and starting the race. There's a lot more to get through, isn't there, Andy? So I guess let's talk a little bit about strategy.
Yeah, so this is really one of the key, if not the key, pre-race decisions that you have to make, is kind of what strategy you want each of your drivers to run with. So you've got a strategy editor here. And as you can see, when you go into one of those strategy views, you can pick from a selection of like recommended strategies that are kind of recommended for this track, or you can create your own, or of course you can edit one of these strategies as well. The great thing about this is that during the race, like as things are changing and as you kind of decide to change things up, you can edit within the race as well. So this isn't your last opportunity. But basically what this gives you is it gives you a projected kind of wear rate of each of the tyres, or the tyre that you're currently on. But if you click on one of the A, B or C strategies, it'll update with the projected kind of tyre wear for softs to hards. And then during the race, you'll actually see how your tyres are kind of wearing down relative to that. So are you attacking so much that you're kind of going your tyres are wearing down quicker than projected, and you might need to pit earlier, therefore go to strategy view, update things, or are you conserving? You've got a little bit of tyre that you can burn down. But this is where you kind of establish your starting point, really. Yeah.
I also wanted to bring this up just very quickly before we get into that. You've also got other things that you'll sort of see as a session goes on, and it will change depending on what track you're at. You can see air temperature, track temperature. See, it's a very warm day at Baku today. All these kind of things can play a part when it comes to strategy, so you have all this data available to you that you can help sort of define your strategy. Right, so Steve, we have decided
we're going to do something slightly interesting here. Yeah, well, maybe it's interesting. I think it's fun. I think it's fun anyway. So we're going to split our strategy between myself and Chris to see who comes out with the best strategy. Yeah. And we're going to let you in chat decide, well, not decide who is, but have a gamble on who you think is going to have the best strategy. Yeah. So we're going to do a Twitch prediction, and you can use your channel points. Hopefully you've all got some channel points that are built up from sitting and watching us. Yeah. And you're going to be able to predict basically who you think is going to win. So I'm going to take on Gasly and choose a strategy, and then Chris is going to choose Tsunoda. You've got Tsunoda.
And Andy's going to watch his choose strategy and just
Andy's
sort of shake his head.
Yeah.
Or what are they doing?
We're going to go from there. So I'm going to actually use one we've already got there. But can we just select Plan B, please, for Gasly?
Yes. We are going to Plan B.
But we're going to leave it like that, but I may change my pit window when it comes round.
Anything can happen. We could have incidents during the race that completely change it. So to pull the curtain, I was kind of testing this out earlier on, and within the first couple of laps there was a safety car, and that can completely change how you decide to strategize.
Exactly. This could literally happen to us right now.
Absolutely.
As well. That's the thing.
You can see along the top there as well. We're pointing out there's the predicted weather forecast as well. So Baku, obviously, not too much chance of rain. But obviously, if there is rain projected on that, or the chance of rain, then that's a massive thing for strategy view. So you need to get those inters and those wet tyres ready.
Yeah. So you're going for Plan B, and you're going for.
I'm going to stick with Plan B, but we're going to go from there. So we're going to do that, and then we'll let you choose yours, and then we'll get that prediction going so that people can choose what they want.
Yuki, I'm trying to telepathically get into you. We're going to work together here, Yuki. We're going to make this work. So I think C is quite a bold strategy. So
soft, hard, soft.
Soft, hard is a very bold strategy. I maybe wouldn't expect this too much when it comes to actually watching this race in real life if a race panned out as expected. But I'm going to give it a go because you never know, the soft tyre could really switch on and they could really work well for us, and we can make up some places early on because we are a little bit further back maybe than we should be on the grid.
Yeah, okay.
So giving us the soft tyre could mean that gives us a bit of extra delta to get through.
Make up for that quali disparity there.
Or it could go horribly.
It could go horribly wrong for either of us.
Terribly.
That's F1, baby.
That is, yes, and it's F1 Manager 2022, baby. So, so I'm going to go two-stop, soft, hard, soft. This could end terribly. It could be an absolute masterstroke. That's the beauty.
So when are your pit stop windows? All right, okay.
So around there's a window, kind of kicking off around 13, 14, I think that's 14, and then 42 or 41. Okay. So, but there's a window, as you said, there's a window there. So that's, Andy, that's the blue sort of area?
So when you enter that, your engineer will come on the radio and say, look, we're entering the pit window, get ready for the pit stop. And then the optimal lap, they'll come in and say, right, now's the time that we've planned for.
Cool.
All right, let's get this prediction going then. So your two options are Pierre Gasly and Camp Steve, with a medium tyre strategy going on to the hards around lap 20. Or your other option, as you can see on the screen here, is Yuki Tsunoda and Chris's strategy of soft, hard, soft with a two-stop. So one-stop strategy at Baku versus a two-stop.
Yeah. So it's not about finishing position, it's about how many places gained.
So the way we're going to do this is, places gained. So because obviously we're at quite different places on the track, who's going to make up the most places, basically? So if Gasly gets 3 places gained and Yuki gets 2, then Gasly wins.
I'm in the chat in my personal account. I'm gonna bet.
Wow. Okay. There we go. This is there's some scandal here now. If you win all of these points back,
I might have zero confidence in my strategy that I might have gone for you anyway. So
positions gained is actually a performance target. So you're talking about the sponsor performance targets. Once you're through qualifying and you know where you're starting, you can actually add a guarantee performance target for position gain. So you can do it in the game as well.
Here.
Exactly. Yeah. Cool. Okay. So I think. So what is your where do you? So you're starting 11th.
I'm starting 11th. I'm going to say P5.
5. That is
P5.
bold. That is confident.
P5.
That is okay. With Yuki, I think it's going to be tough. P16.
P16.
It's going to be tough.
Points. Come on.
Can you imagine? I'm going to go. No. Try and be slightly pessimistic. I'd say 13th would be fun. I'd be happy with 13th.
Okay.
It's early on.
So I think I'm making up 6 places, and you think you're making up 3. All right. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, if you do that, I'll buy you a drink at
a gentleman's pound.
A gentleman's pound. Or I'll buy you a soft drink.
Do you want to know how chat thinks it's going to go down?
Go for it.
Okay. So chat mostly got 114,000 points so far on Gasly Steve, and we've got 86,000 on Tsunoda Chris.
Not too bad.
Close. Yeah. It's as close to 50-50 as I can imagine we'd get.
Yeah.
So brilliant. Let's have a look.
So Shadow Champions in the chat did just say the two-stopper could be great if there's a late safety car or something like that. Kind of having the hard tyre for that long in the middle of the race creates a potential there for to capitalise on something. We shall see.
Yeah.
Shall we get into it?
Let's find out.
Let's get into the race. We've set our strategy, we've been through practice and quali, we are ready, and as Crofty says, it's a bit of a cloudy day, but the atmosphere...
Safety car, by the way, isn't it?
It's very nice. Okay, so there's Pierre, P11, P5 is a ambitious target, but we'll do our best.
Yeah, we'll give it a go.
Yeah, right. It's all come down to this.
I'm nervous now.
I'm slightly nervous too. Partially just because we're live and all that kind of stuff, but for my
for the
right,
team.
we're underway.
Okay, let's not miss it.
So we're underway. Lights out. Gazzy, could he already be up to Pete?
We're
Anybody
already
good move?
not
But look at
doing
Lando.
too-
Is that Lando coming through?
No.
Oh my word! Right,
Lando.
okay. With the send. So Yuki stayed in P16. If we quickly cut to Yuki, he's alongside. Make sure like a guard.
It's okay. It's fine.
So Gazzy's up in P12. Let's go immediately. Let's go on board with Yuki.
Please, yes.
Let's jump to this one. So this is actually cutting away, sort of talking about strategy and stuff. That just literally just talking about the game. One of the things we haven't really had a chance to talk to you on a stream, Andy, about this yet. I think one of the things that our community have been blown away so far since we've been showing off this game is just how the visual look of this game. I think everybody expected a really kind of detailed and deep, and really cool, really cool sort of management sim, and maybe like a top-down kind of thing, which we will show in a moment. But we've also got this the term that we use, broadcast quality presentation. It's really something, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, the guys, the team have knocked down the park really in terms of this. It's so. I mean, I love this angle as well. It's so kind of so realistic, so immersive, and it's something we were really keen on right from the start, really, because I think a big part of the management games that we do here at Frontier is about the payoff. It's about the spectacle. The payoff for the kind of strategy and the work that you've put in. And there's no greater spectacle than this. Incredible seeing these cars speed down the Baku streets.
Give me some more pace there on Gasly.
I think.
Oh yeah, I'm in control. Sorry, so
this is.
What do you want? A bit more ERS?
Give me a little bit more ERS.
Let's
and
go
give me some.
So I guess Andy, for anybody. So as you might have heard, there's some. Actually, I was going to talk about ERS and stuff like that, but we had some real world team radio there from Pierre. We'll do the F1 broadcasting with Team Radio's coming. We'll just shut up.
Yeah. Just 2 secs, 10.
Yes. So Andy talks real world team radio. That's been something that a lot of our community have been super excited about. Just talk to us about that.
Yeah, again, it's about building that sense of you're actually at the pit wall. You're listening in on the team radio. You're kind of keeping your ear to the ground on race engineers and feedback from your driver and making the calls and relaying them to the driver. So I think this is what the team principal would hear by the pit wall. So we wanted to give you that immersion, that sense of control as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. So. Lap 1 underway. We will speed things up, so we'll be here all day. But for now, as things are very close, let's see if Yuki can make a move. And no DRS, of course, at the start of the race. But we've got the softer tyre. We've put overtake on. Can he make a move? No, just not quite. I'm going to roll back the ERS just a little bit, just to because it's quite a tight section. As some of F1 fans may know, basically the rest of this circuit is very difficult to overtake at Baku. It's quite a tight street circuit. It's the end and the start of the lap that are the overtaking opportunities.
Zones, absolutely.
So maybe if we harvest some. ERS is fully charged. Thank you very much. Right, so we'll drop onto neutral. Back to Gazzy. How's he doing? He's also behind a Haas. We have a yellow flag with a virtual safety car.
What happened there?
We've all slowed down. We've also down to stop. What's happened here? So who's at the back? Maybe something happened to Vettel. Maybe not. We have a VSC. Virtual safety car.
All right, live demo, folks.
There you go. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
Maybe let's go top down just to have a quick look here. And if I drop it back actually to 1 times. So that's, I guess, a key way of observing the race is, of course, this top-down view as well. It's not, if you want to just kind of take a broader view, because you can use this
absolutely, and this is what you switch to when you're in one of the fast-forward modes, and but we've still got all the controls available. You've got your control panels there. You've got data view and strategy view either side of this as well. So if you've got a brain like a computer times 16, you can still take it all in and play the game. But for those finer bits of control, you can slow it down and check out what's going on the track.
So it looks like it's Hamilton who's had a problem here. Yeah,
he had a spin,
clearly some kind of he's had a spin. He's
not
had maybe
that brake
some
magic
damage.
again, surely.
It's the front wing.
He's lost some wing.
It's the front wing.
He has lost some wing.
So in comes Hamilton for a pit stop. We'll go back to Yuki because that's helped us here. So Gasly's gone up from P12 to P11, and of course Tsunoda's gone up to position 2. But we're under VSC for now. That will probably change very soon as the track gets cleared up and ready to go. But there's a great example there. We set our strategies, but anything can happen.
Yeah.
And we're already seeing a change in the order and a pit stop issue as well. It's not going well.
It's not his day.
That's not good at all. Okay, so maybe let's just speed things up a little bit as we wait for the VSC.
Let's go through a little bit more. Whilst we are doing that, favourite camera angle?
Yes.
I want to know who's got what.
Well, I always used to play on the onboard cameras. I call it the Halo camera. The one you see the Halo. That's a really great position to see the race from. But I don't know. I like the trackside cameras more recently because you get a bit more sense of the track and the weather, and you can spot like DRS trains that are emerging and things like that. So I kind of as you get to know the tracks better, I find that's a better way of tracking
Red
the race.
One in chat literally just said harvest DRS before, just like seconds before you clicked it. So that was perfect timing.
So it's VSC ending soon, so we'll switch that back up so we're not caught out at the start.
Yeah, please.
Put back up to new. Yeah, so I'm in control of your destiny here.
Stitching me up
I could absolutely stitch you up. So normal racing conditions resuming, back underway. So Hamilton's back out, as you can see here, but he's further back because he's made a stop. Let's get back to the action. So Gasly, P11. So where we started, Tsunoda's up 1 place. So far I'm up, but
Can you imagine a situation where you're like, about your own teammate?
Ooh, right up to the back there.
Very close.
So is there anything else we want to kind of go through as we sort of run through this race?
Let's have a look at the data on the options here.
Do you want to go here?
Yeah, let's have a look at what we're doing with sectors. We can kind of get an idea where everyone is with their speeds. This will come in handy. Obviously, it's a dry race here, but I was saying earlier how this will come in handy to be able to see if somebody changes from, let's say, your intermediate tyre and somebody gambles onto a slick. You can use this menu to see if their sectors are then faster than they were doing, and that's, I find, really helpful at making sure that you can get through it. Worth pointing out that we are on 2x speed here.
We're not actually going super fast.
We haven't gone to warp speed.
Data view, I think, I tend to use it for kind of either looking at relative last laps, so you can kind of get a sense of the race pace, or my own lap history, and I can kind of go, okay, if I'm on a long run with hards, I can kind of start to see the drop off in lap times and go, is it time to pit early or later? So this lap history filling out with lap times is really useful.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, you see there's so many different things that you can just go through. Your lap histories, can be super helpful. So, obviously we had the VSC period, so that's slow laps, but you'll see here over the next few laps, if you were to keep going back to this, okay, how am I doing? What's the drop-off in terms of performance? Another way you can look at that, I think, is just by, if I go back into the race view, here. So you can see here, so that's your sort of expected tyre performance. But then the white line, Andy, is basically lap time compared to tyre performance. Is that right?
Well, it's kind of your drop-off of the tyre wear compared to what it's expected to be. So, if that's dropping below the kind of projection, then you might want to sort of think about.
Let's push that tyre wear up on Gasly, please. Whilst we're at it. Yeah, let's go for it.
I think Tsunoda's got quite a bit of. He should be burning into those softs, right? Because he's pitting.
It's true.
Too long.
Yeah. It's very true, and because of the VSC, they've had time to conserve the tyres. So let's push it.
No, drive nice and slowly, Chris. Don't worry about it. You take it slow, mate.
Yeah, Steve wouldn't have told me to do that. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So there's opportunities here. DRS will open soon to. Offer more opportunities for overtaking. We're both behind a Haas, so we need to find a way. We've got Gunter behind us. I'm sorry to betray you,
Gunter.
But we have to find a way through for our drivers. One more for you, and of course we'll be into the top 10. I'd love to just do this lap by lap. When I was doing playthroughs previously, I just wanted to do lap by lap, just follow the whole thing. But in the interest of time,
speed it up.
We have to speed things up. But this looks like a good opportunity here because there's no DRS opportunity for Mick Schumacher for Tsunoda, so that means that there's a potential here if I drop. Yeah, we've dropped it back, and DRS is enabled. Yeah. So we lower a bit on ERS, but let's just try and deploy, see what we can do here.
So this is one of the things that you kind of miss sometimes when you're fast forwarding, is whether you're creeping into a DRS zone from the guy ahead of you, or if someone's creeping into your DRS zone. And it's one of the things that's quite easy to miss, but it's super important, right? Because the amount of time you can gain on those DRS zones is a major factor.
This is close. Gasly's close as well.
Yeah, let's get through this one.
Two drivers within 200s here.
Oh, he's fallen a little bit back here, but there you go. There's the overspeed. Come on, Yuki. Come on, Yuki. Come on, can you make it? It's that overspeed. Just try to make it. Can he brake late? Not quite. Okay, I'm going to harvest a bit more now. Try and. Oh, he got it.
Meanwhile, Gasly has gained position. Let's watch the replay.
Yes. How much of it we're going to see? Brilliant up the inside. So that's a key thing as well, Andy. When key moments happen in the race, not around maybe concerning your drivers or big incidents, replay comes up, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So even if you are fast forwarding, you'll get notified of anything major happening either via replays, or kind of your engineers will get on the tell you if your fuel's kind of running down, if your tyres are getting too low. So there's a nice balance between giving you the opportunity to kind of fast forward through the race, but also keeping you informed of key moments.
Yeah. Okay, Steve. So you move up a spot. Anything you want here?
I'm up a spot. I want to burn some fuel, please. Let's get.
Okay, we'll push a bit. Let's lift and coast.
Push a little bit harder. Yeah. So we're going to be less worried about lifting and coasting. Less worried about conserving fuel. Just to try and close that gap to Ocon.
Yeah. So. Yeah, we'll check back on that in a second. Let's focus a bit on Yuki. So basically, we need to pull a gap now here to Magnussen. So if we can maybe pull up to the back of Ocon and get his DRS, that would be great to allow us to try and move clear of Magnussen. There's a bit of a gap. That looks pretty good. I'm just going to speed things up a little bit.
Yeah, why don't we speed up towards a little bit closer to... I think your pit window is probably closer than mine, isn't it?
Yeah. So if fuel is getting low, so sorry, Steve.
Ignore it.
Run it down to the rim. Okay, so so if we look here, I believe. So your pit window, see, as you can see here, we're on lap 7. If we move more towards lap 8, so if we move more towards around 11, 12, that's when the pit window would open for Yuki, whereas for Gasly, the window is more around lap 20, so 18 is about 22, 23. As you can see here, though, Gasly's made up some great ground because there's some battling in front of him between Norris and Ocon. This is getting
nice. This is spicy here.
Meanwhile, Tsunoda overtakes Schumacher.
This is what I love. This is great. The fact that we can just clip back between to see the
Round
replay.
The outside.
That's both of our drivers making a move on that corner. One on the inside, one on the outside. That's fantastic.
That's definitely a big. Ooh, I wouldn't if I were you, Pierre, around there. That's a dangerous manoeuvre. So maybe I was gonna harvest DRS, but I'll leave that up to you, Steve.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll keep an eye on my figures.
Absolutely. So I'm going to try and make a gap here. So I'll click on defend. So you want to talk maybe a little bit about ERS, Andy? There's obviously, it's not just go faster, go slower. There's more.
Yeah, ERS. So you've basically got 4 megajoules of kind of energy stored in your ERS battery, and across each lap you can kind of like harvest 2 megajoules back. But it's really about what you do in terms of deploying that. So you can deploy all of it, and then your battery will be kind of empty after a few laps. Or you can choose harvest, where you're only deploying a bit, and then ultimately you build your battery back up.
Right.
So it's really about when do you want to deploy it and how. So if you're going for the undercut, like you might decide to deploy it on the way out of the pit lane. If you're kind of pushing towards the end, you might be going for the overtake. Or if you've just done there, you might have gained position, want to defend it.
Right.
And defend basically means you use it on the straights, so the opportunities where the guy behind might overtake.
Go on.
More likely to overtake.
Go on. He's got it. It's going
to be a battle.
He's got it.
It's going to be a battle. This is going to go around for a few corners.
Achieve.
You're side by side. I might switch to the...
AlphaTauri creating history.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, who's got the speed? I think Pierre's got the speed here, but he's going to be caught up behind... Is it Norris? But he's got the move done.
I think he could get past Norris.
Yeah, that's definitely an opportunity here. Gasly overtakes Ocon. Job done.
Love to see it.
Up 2 places, Steve.
Fantastic. It's happening. I told you. I did say 5th though, which
long way to go.
There's a long way to go to 5th. There's a long way to go in this race.
Yeah.
Speaking of, let's speed it up a little bit.
I don't want to go too fast because I want to see how you can get on here against.
I know this is good. This is good action actually.
Anything here you want? So you're pushing the tyres a bit.
Tyres are getting a bit.
Tyres are a little bit. Yeah, maybe bring those down a little bit. We're on.
Okay.
I mean, we're on. We're not on for projected. We'll be all right.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. This is the kind of team principle I am. Don't worry about it.
Just do I shut down that screen? I don't want to look at that.
Steve, my tyres are gone. Don't worry about it. Keep going.
Right, it could be. I'm going to drop it back down one time just to have a look at this because it could be another opportunity. Yeah. Go on. Go on, Pierre.
Pierre. Come on.
A silence breaks across the room as we wait for the action to unfold.
He's got him on the first corner. Easy.
This is some effort from
clear.
Pierre Gasly.
Clear, absolutely clear.
Nice.
Scenes.
Two moves in 2 laps. That is some going. P8.
That's my boy.
So yeah, let's hope we can defend that. And Yuki's doing okay. He's gapped Mick Schumacher, so you can try and move on to the back of Guan Yu Zhou as well. So awesome. Okay, so that's a pretty good start to the race. We're 10 laps in.
We're doing all right.
Yeah, we're 9 laps in. And
got some points.
Points currently on the board. Both drivers have moved up the field.
Yeah.
And he's not looking at us with disdain.
Yeah, we're doing all right. We're doing okay.
That's all I'm worried. Oh, this could get tight here. This could be tricky. Anything you want here, Steve, before I start speeding things up?
No, we're okay. Yeah, carry on. Speed things up.
Okay, I'm going to go 4 times and we're just straight. So if we click, we're on top of Gasly, as you can see here. He's not quite a train, but there's a few cars behind him he's going to have to defend from. Further up the road it is Alonso. ES battery empty. I haven't been tracking that. That's my bad.
This is it. You got to keep.
Yeah, that's it. I was deploying too much ERS, and he's going to be possibly under threat now. But Norris is back through.
Norris is
he going to try back again? He's gone for the switch back. Oh, we've got to watch this.
I want to see it. I want to see it. Oh yeah, there we go. So we can see that replay of Gasly re-overtaking Norris here.
Lovely.
Just in time.
I can see this battle going on.
This is going to be it, isn't it? Yeah.
Let's drop to the rear view, which is this one. Okay. All right. I think this battle's going to go on for a little while. We're going to have to speed things up because we will be here
we are literally going to be here all night.
Andy will be really mad at us because he's got work to do.
Let's go to a little bit of a sped up view then.
So where's Tsunoda? So Tsunoda's here. He is He's got Mick Schumacher coming back towards him. We are on harvest. Let's move back to neutral. So
quite conservative on his tyres.
Yeah,
because he should be pitting now. So
that's true. So we've got hopefully a bit of extra rubber now to use over the next couple of laps. So I'll push him up to.
Yuki, we need to push harder on tyres. They are looking good now. We need
yes,
to
there
open
we go.
to Vettel. You can push harder.
Nice. Thank you very much.
I love that.
A-fun. Okay, so. Yeah, so P14 for Yuki. We're moving in towards the pit window, but we've got a bit of tyre life left. Let's continue using it. Whereas Gasly's embroiled in this battle with Norris, Ocon, et al. So, good start so far. We're about only almost a fifth of the way to the race. So much happens.
I know.
And this. I think one of the things to maybe talk about here is that the player has the choice here. If they want to, they can just watch the race in real time, watch all these things unfold, or they can speed up the action if they want to.
It's really flexible.
Yeah, which is awesome. Okay, so we're getting close, I think, to Yuki's pit window, but he's doing okay. You can see here with his times, it's not too bad. Now that he's got some clear.
Don't pit him, start on the softs.
Stop trying to foil me. Okay, so that's looking okay. Gasly's doing a decent job, but again, Norris has got him back, so and now he's going to get him back again. That's some battle.
That's gonna be going on
day.
forever. Yeah. Let's speed it up a bit. See if we can. Oh, you're quite close to your pit window.
Yeah,
aren't you? So are you going to make that pit now?
Let's set up a pit for Yuki Tsunoda. So right into the pit window.
Okay.
Well, we're nearly there. We're in optimum time. I might just push him for one more lap because he's got some clear air to run in. Hopefully, he can set some decent lap time. So it's Ricciardo that's further up the road now, because Guan Yu Zhou has made the move on Daniel Ricciardo. So Gasly's back in front, but Norris is primed here with DRS to potentially make another move. Yes, his optimal lap. So let's do it. So that's our race engineer telling us that this is the optimal lap to make a pit stop for.
All right.
So I guess Andy, just talk us through this. This is now sort of the pit options area here for one of your drivers.
Yeah, absolutely. So this shows you the tyres you have available, or you can also see some of the tyres you've returned over the course of the weekend as well. So that's what some of those greyed out ones will show you. And then, as you can see here, it shows you the tyre that you've got coming up next for your chosen strategy. So it kind of directs you towards that, and then you can see how long that's going to last. And where you'll come out as well, exit position. So unfortunately, you obviously come out exit position 20th, but the plan is that you'll get the jump on everyone else as they pit.
That's the hope. That is the dream. So let's pit in this lap, and now that we know he's coming in, we can go right full push. Because we will no longer need those tyres in about a minute's time. We will no longer need those tyres. Oh, we're back. more bows. It goes on.
I think we're the tyre wear's looking all right, but
the tyres visibly look like they're beginning to wear, which is cool. It's just kind of, to be expected. So
it's a close one.
Yeah,
we're going to be very close with Norris.
So your
here.
window is still a little bit further away.
We're over the halfway mark though, so that's the important thing.
Yeah. Okay. You happy, Steve? You don't want to make any changes?
I'm happy for now. Yeah, let's keep going until we. You are pitting, aren't you?
So yeah, the end of this lap.
Okay.
So
let's get that
just
nice
allow
camera
you
angle
to
for
push.
that pit.
Let's fire through this. Let's speed things up a little bit. Okay, now we're.
People starting to realise how long an F1 race actually takes.
Yeah.
This is a real-time simulation of an F1 race. So we would.
But
be
it
here
feels, because there's so much to control and so much to overview, and look, it feels like every race feels like this grand experience, which is what I really enjoy. It's the first time I ever played the game. That was my first thought. I was doing all of these things, and I was enjoying the game, and I was like, oh, it's lap 4.
Yeah. That feeling.
Right, so here's a pit stop here for Yuki Tsunoda. We changed it. That's quick. That felt quick.
That was
too
quick.
bad.
Yeah. So we're going to come up potentially behind the Aston Martins here. We shall see as we maybe change views.
Ahead of them. That was a very quick bit.
Lovely. That was important actually to get out in front of them, so we don't have to worry about battling them too hard. Right, switch these back, because that's a long stint on the hard tyres, so you need to be careful about tyre management for the next bit. Let's move back to Gasly.
Yes. I want you to absolutely send those tyres now. We're just going to go for it. We're just going to go for it.
Your wish is my command.
Let's do it.
Full attack.
Full attack.
Let's keep the pressure on. Right, let's go. So, yes. So where is your pit window's only a few laps away, though your ideal pit stop time is 20, so you're 5 laps away from that. Okay, but you're embroiled in this battle with Lando Norris. So, cool. I'm happy to let Yuki kind of do his thing for a bit. Just run those tyres, run to sort of delta, run to lap time. We got a chance here. Speed everything down just a little bit. Try and move that ARS. I'm going to speed it back up actually. Could he go outside? Could he go inside? No. He might wait. So we've seen actually that a key overtaking opportunity is not turn 2, it's turn 3 that's coming up now. So maybe here Will he have another go? He's going to try around the outside. Oh, yes.
Yeah,
job done. Right.
It's about getting away from that
That's
DRS
the thing.
zone. That's the thing.
Is there anything you'd like me to do, Steve, to try and force a gap here?
No, keep sending it. We're fine. We're fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're fine. We're going to keep that gap by sending it.
Okay. I like the confidence. I want to see it happen. P8 is a very good result, I'd say, from starting from P11. There's already some good moves being done. Right, let's speed up a little bit more. So P8, Yuki, obviously further back, but running quite a different strategy to everybody else. Oh, he's pitted. Yeah, good spot, Andy. Yes, so Norris has pitted, so that actually
There's my gap.
Yeah, there is your gap.
Sixth, by the way.
Just saying.
One place to go.
So this is a good opportunity now for Gasly to really put down some times and try and stay ahead of Lando Norris. So we might get you on the undercut. Let's find out. Yeah, this is all down to you now, Steve. So you can see your tyre life hits beginning to drop a bit.
We're pretty close. We're pretty close to that window.
Yeah.
I'm going to drive those tyres into the ground.
All right.
By the way.
All right.
So we're just going to keep going. We're going to
keep going. So you're actually not too far away now from Valtteri Bottas, as you can see here, is P5. That's actually, if I'm going to slow this down just briefly, so we look at these options. This is something we've looked at this earlier. So there's different options in here.
I love this.
So we're currently looking at the gap to leader, but Andy, maybe you can walk us through some of the
this is kind of like
options.
almost the standings table can be edited as well. So this is kind of like a mini data view, if you like.
Yeah.
So you can keep on race view while looking at gap to leader, the interval between cars, where you get those key minus 1 second gaps. Here you can see the tyres that everyone's on, so that's really key to see. Like if you're more likely to overtake on mediums. So if Bottas was close to you, you kind of got a good chance of getting an overtake done.
Yeah.
If the drivers are pitted yet or not, of course, that's a key bit of info. And you get the sector times on there as well, I think, which is obviously key in
so we were looking at this one a lot. This is, I think, the example that you gave, Steve, and we might mention it before, is about, say, if it's a mixed weather race, and you're looking at, say, another driver has just come in off from a wet track onto dry tyres, and you're trying to figure out, is that the right tyre to be on?
Yeah.
And you can maybe look at the sector times of that driver and go, yes, they've just set a purple sector. Yeah. And a purple, if you're not sure, is the fastest sector of a race or of a session, then that means it might well be the right tyre to go on. So, there's a plethora of data you can use here to...
We've used that word so much.
Yes.
Plethora of data.
And it's the right term, I think, absolutely.
Right, let's have a look at my pit window, please. I think we're there. Yes. Okay, let's get him in. Let's full send on the fuel as well for this lap.
Got it. I've paused just so we can give you every opportunity here to make a stop. So, still hard tyre. This will go to the end of the race.
We're going to go hard. We're going to go hard, and we're going to go hard.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, send it on that fuel, please.
Got it. Pit this lap. Full on tyres, full on fuel use, so no lift and coast. And we're about to come in. So this is towards the end of the lap, actually. So we're coming nice and sharp.
We've got fuel to burn here with Pierre. So
yeah, that's true. Cool, right, and just keeping an eye on Tsunoda. He's doing okay. He's on a different strategy really to those around him on P15. I can probably get him. You can see he's actually doing quite well in terms of lap times compared to tyre usage. So I might just get him to step up the usage a bit down and like push the tyres a little bit more.
Yeah.
But here comes Pierre Gasly for his stop. I'll keep this at 1 time, or else it looks a pit stop sped up. Even in real life, looks a bit odd. So we'll keep it to 1 time. So now in he comes. Let's hope it's another fast stop by the AlphaTauri boys. In come, Jack Guns. Can we get the tyres on? Yes, that was good.
That's not bad.
Decent.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll take it. Overall time was around the 4.4 there, I think. So
cool.
Before.
And does he come out in front of Norris?
Oh, that's a great question.
He does come out in front of Norris.
Very nice.
You are a far better commentator than us, Andy. You've spotted that really
stunned.
well.
The overcut worked. You got about 3
There's
seconds
Lando
on him.
in the background. Job done.
Nice.
All right. So overall success so far. There goes Lando behind Gasly. So P9, but there's other stops to be made. So again, if we use this screen, probably be able to see that Magnussen is yet to stop. So you would imagine that once he stops, he will move back up to P8 and then potentially look at catching Alonso, Russell, Bottas.
I hope so.
We shall see. Okay, so again, let's turn
the push down on my tyres a little bit as well.
Good shout.
Just to standard for now.
Standard.
We'll leave the fuel because we've got plenty of fuel to burn.
I'll push mine as well. I'm going to steal your idea and push that up a little bit too. So all looking good. P9, but probably a net P8. Yeah, I would say probably for Gasly so far, as we're coming towards the halfway point. God, we've done so much and we're not even at the halfway point.
I know, this is it.
Right, I have to start speeding things up, or else we're going to be here all day. Right, okay. Tsunoda P15, that's looking pretty good. I guess let's talk a little bit here with you, Andy, about how a car can develop over the course of the season. Obviously, we're seeing here Oh, fuel's getting low. Do you want me to change fuel, Steve? Or no?
No.
Love it. So obviously, you know, we're a few races into the season. We're seeing that AlphaTauri in this save, their performance is okay. We're battling for points, but obviously as the season goes on, if you do the right things, if you develop your facilities, you develop your car, there's potential. Go for it. There's potential to move.
Do that. Just gonna have a look.
There's potential to move your team further up the grid as the season goes on, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So as we've seen this year, a lot can change over the car builds, even over the course of like half a season. And I think certain teams. I mean, I've been playing with Alfa Romeo recently, and they've actually got a really strong car in 2022, really good driver lineup. So my kind of thing there is I want to overperform while my car is particularly good, so that I can get a good finish and improve my budget for the next year. Because like you say, it's about that long-term build. Like they need those extra funds next year to make sure they can compete next year.
Right.
A bit like Haas. Haas kind of put a lot of money into research last year, and they're paying dividends kind of this year. So absolutely. And again, it kind of speaks to the why we've kind of gone for the broadcast perspective on the race as well. Like it's one thing to kind of design rear wings that give you kind of DRS delta boosts and stats, but you want to see that on the main straight. You want to see yourself tearing past the car that you couldn't get past in the last race. So
sure,
it's that payoff.
It's a great way. You've crystallized it way better than I ever could. Absolutely. So I guess something I was looking at here. So using these lap times, you did a good job of putting us to the data view, because you can see here. Look at the lap times here compared to Gasly and Norris. Now that you've got through on the pit strategy, you're half a second quicker a lap, but you're also looking pretty good compared to the likes of Alonso and Russell.
We're not too far off.
So there's a good opportunity here potentially for Gasly to move even further up, which would be fantastic. Whereas it's a little bit more difficult, I guess, with Tsunoda, who's actually on a similar strategy at the moment compared to the likes of the drivers around it, but we're trying to move him.
Everyone's on hards, it seems.
Yeah, everybody wanted to be on that hard tyre in the middle of the race.
Can you just bring my fuel down a little bit as well, so we don't burn out of that too quickly?
That's standard, and speed things back up. So let's have a look again at gap, because I want to see how closely Gasly's getting. So he's about a second or so back. So I'm just going to bring it down, and let's take a look.
Tsunoda's just lost his place to Zhou again.
They're going back and forth. That's quite a ding-dong battle between the two of them. I want to keep an eye on your guy Gasly just for a minute here, because here we go. So you've caught up, Pierre caught up to the back of Fernando Alonso and George Russell, who are in their own little battle here, and it's allowed you, I guess, as they're battling, to catch up. So potentially some scope here to move a couple more places.
Yeah, let's burn those tyres.
I feel like that's going to be your go-to.
Oh yeah.
Back through, Alonso goes on Russell.
Just whilst we're in the close, tight area, this is a good idea to kind of just,
close up.
Just give them a bit of a reminder that we're behind them.
I'm going to deploy.
80% left on
there. Right, they are tangling in front of you, and it's just allowed you to really close up, and it's a great opportunity here. I'm just
Come on, I want sixth there.
All right, I'm going to speed things up just to, I doubt that there's going to be.
Let's burn the fuel.
Yeah, okay, we've got fuel burn. Let's go. Right, so we're moving around to the back of the circuit. Obviously, the gap is Constantina's a bit, so you're moving a bit further.
Don't worry about it. Keep going.
Okay. Right. Okay. So, yeah, looking good. But you're now very close to the back. I'm going to slow things down because there could be an overtaking opportunity here on George Russell.
Let me save that ERS as well if we can. We build
save it. You want to harvest a bit?
Yeah, please.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, hello. Here's an opportunity.
Charge on for now.
Charge on. Yeah. Absolutely.
Charge on for now.
Yeah. Can he make it work? We've seen it's quite difficult to get the job done here on this race into turn 1. It might be turn 3 where you get the jump. He's going for the move. Come on. Look at the speed.
Oh, come on.
Yes. Now it's all about holding on to the position.
Chopped.
Yeah, absolutely chopped. And now it's all about holding on to position, and maybe a key part of that is going to be catching Fernando, because that means you can grab his ERS.
Burn the ERS.
All right, let's go. Maybe defend, I guess, or what do you think? Or pure overtake?
Let's go deploy.
Deploy. Right, okay. Where is he? Oh, I should switch to the behind view. We've kept them behind. Good job. Good job. We're right on Alonso. So we're in there. We're in the battle.
It's happening. I'm telling you. I'm coming for that P5.
Bottas is a long way up the road, but if you can make it happen,
begging for a safety car.
Yeah, absolutely. Close everybody up. you'd have, based on what we were looking at in terms of the timings, you'd be pretty close to the likes of Bottas.
It's not been bad, yeah.
It's been a good strategy, good run, good performance from Pierre too. And I guess we're seeing a little bit here the fruits of the labour from some of the boosts.
Take that down now.
Okay. Some of the benefits of what we saw about the performance bonus that you get through practice and qualifying. So obviously we saw that I think it was 11 points out of 15 they got. So that potentially gives Pierre and Yuki a bit more performance potential in the race, and we're seeing that with a strong performance here from Pierre.
And the quality of your kind of race engineers will impact upon, if you just simulate those sessions, they'll give you a slightly better boost if they've got good race engineers with good affinity with your drivers.
Right, okay. Yeah. We're looking good here. I think there could be another opportunity. So earlier on you did two overtakes in 2 laps. Overtake, go! You are really pushing everything here.
Full send.
He's going to go around the outside. You've done the outside before.
Always be sending.
I'm going to go.
Ooh, that is
that's done. Yes.
Right, now you got to hold on.
Defend it.
See, I felt the confidence rip out of you immediately there.
Poor Yuki over here, stuck on neutral, balance for that.
Because he's on such a long stint, I'm just like, okay, well, and it's just quite entertaining watching Pierre at the grid. Look after the battery.
Yeah, we'll look after it.
Let's bring back
harvest that again.
Harvest neutral. Yeah, he's in a bit of a back and forth with Joe Grenier, but he's gone this long strategy. I guess. Well, actually, let's have a look at the pit window.
Yeah, it's tricky though.
Okay, we'll get him to push a little bit and see what he can do. I think the 2-stop hasn't quite worked yet, but I think if something happens in the race, like maybe a safety car or something, it could fall into our hands. So,
well, I'm happy where I am. So let's speed up to get through your stint.
Yeah, So we're about 10 or so laps away by the looks of it. So we'll keep rattling through, and we'll keep an eye on
just having a look at strategy view while you're in here, just to show that we'd had a look at data view, and this is race view, but strategy view gives you a full screen, kind of more granular look at this tyre deg. Obviously you've got the previews on the main view, but you can click on here, and you can click on these to actually change the strategy live in the race. So that's what I was referring to earlier. So that's pretty cool. And you've got a few tabs there to show how your car powertrain components wearing down. Not too much on this at the moment. They all look in good nick. And here you've got like grip levels and track water and all sorts of things.
So it's changed a little bit, because I think it was 52 the track temperature before the race got underway. So as the days going on, the sun's beginning to set, we're seeing the track temperature change, which can affect.
Can you go back to that strategy view again?
This one here or this one?
That one.
Yeah.
Just bring my tyres down when you get a chance.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna burn through those. I realise we've sped up the race and I'm on like full send still.
2 times. Get out of this. It's this one, and then no, it's this one. So you want to bring the tyres down?
Bring it down. Let's
sell. And he's like, yes.
Yeah. Oh, calm down, Gasly. Who told you to drive like that?
So, but P6, looking great. Look, you've done a heck of a job so far.
Yeah.
We've got 17, 18 laps to go. Let's pick things back up again. Checking on Yuki. How's he doing? He's still battling with Guan Yu Zhou. We're playing the long game here. I think, hopefully, what I'm hoping for is we want to manage the hard tyre stint, and then it means we've got 8 to 10 laps at the end of the race on the soft tyre to just go for it on the fast tyre. So that's my hope, that it all comes together at the end of the race. Whether that happens, we'll have to wait and see. But it's a safety car.
Safety car. Oh god. Okay. I did want a safety car. Chat was calling for a safety car. So as if we could summon one by magic, we can't. But one has actually happened.
No.
Speed. There we go.
Right.
Okay.
So the cars are just catching the safety cars. So let's just take stock here. So Tsunoda, middle of a stint. There's probably not a huge benefit here. Maybe there is.
Stick him on the medium.
Yeah, you've got to stick him on the mediums, right?
I might take. I don't think I pit here. I think my strategy is to stay out and.
This compound conflict's eruptive strategy. Yes, it will. I'm gonna do it.
All right.
All 3 compounds used in a race. Right.
Let's see.
So you saw that you only lose 1 position during the safety car because everyone's moving so slowly. So
sorry, let me bring that back up just so you can show. Oh, let me cancel. So
it's on the estimated exit position, and in the competitors tab you can kind of see who's in front and behind you, and it just gives you a sense of where you're going to drop behind. So only 1 position lost, so that's definitely worth it.
This is the kind of thing in the real world on the pit wall. These things happen, and they immediately kind of what are the timings? What is the expected safety car loss? They have to make split-second decisions based on that. I've had the benefit of both of you telling me, shut up, put him on the medium tyres, and we're going to do it. So,
I think I'm going to stay out. I want to see what chat says.
Okay.
Chat, are we staying out with Gasly, or are we coming in for a spicy pit stop and a random change of strategy that I haven't yet worked out if we do? Gasly pit, double stack, box.
So the only issue here with Yuki is that he's in the first part of the lap. Well, he's actually about midway through the lap.
Come in.
If he was right near the pit lane, it would have been
Box, pit, save tyres and fuel.
Good shout.
Save fuel on both, actually.
Thank you, chat.
Yeah, good shout, good shout. Thanks, chat. Everyone's saying box, so I'm going to stay out.
Right, yeah, I mean, ever the contrarian.
Ever the contrarian.
Yeah, bring all this down.
Because it's more exciting if I stay out, isn't it? Let's be honest. It's more entertaining if I stay out.
I've just looked at the time and we've run over so much because we've been so invested in this race, and I blame the safety car. I blame Steve's excellent performance.
Everyone.
Once we get through the safety car, we'll just rattle through the end of it.
And you too will play this game for too long, from August 25th.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so what was PS saying there? Okay, so Yuki's coming in. Chance here to get him onto the right tyre. 17 laps to go on the medium feels like it feels like the right thing to do. So so Gasly is here, he's still catching up. Hopefully he can catch up to, so if we bring it up actually for Verstappen, you'll catch the safety car eventually. So there's Gasly back there. Just double check. Decent stop again for Yuki. Let's go wide.
Seems like a few of the front runners either haven't or aren't pitting.
Yep. They're not coming in.
So I'm not going to gain any places.
No.
So really all I've got is places to lose.
Exactly what you want.
So where are we with our prediction right now then? So I was 11th and I'm now 6th. So five places gained for me. And you are...
I'm exactly where I was because I just made the extra stop. So hopefully it's going to be a rapid end to the race for Yuki just to rattle through and see if he can make up some positions. But it will be tricky.
All right.
Right, let's go back to says the safety car. He's now caught the lead, so hopefully over time something will catch up. So let's just rattle
building that fuel up as well now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's true. Yeah. Safety car in this lap, so there hasn't been much of a chance for everybody to close up, unfortunately. Right, let's.
So someone's actually just said, does pace and fuel matter during the safety car? Yes, because you're effectively trying to slow your drivers down to save up on that tyre wear and the fuel usage, because now we've got a lot of extra fuel on board.
Yeah. Similarly, however, like if you're pushing on fuel, there's only so much you can push under a safety car, so you actually won't use as much as you would at flat out.
Right, so we're back underway. As you can see here, Gasly is now having to fend off Alonso and Russell. He's still kind of embroiled in that battle. Whereas Yuki now on the fresh tyres has got because we haven't closed up, it hasn't worked out. What we needed there is a longer safety car phase for the that's the risk you take.
That's the risk you take. It must have been a
if Tsunoda had just got
quick one,
that immediate pit stop.
Yeah, if
he'd have gone straight into the pits, I think he could have.
You're right.
Had a good.
You're absolutely right. But okay, we've got 13, 14 or so laps to go. We're gonna have to rattle through this quick as we can because we've already run over. But it's going to be all about here. I think Gasly holding on to that P6. Anything you want here? You're pushing the tyres.
Let's have a look. Can you show me my strategy where the strategy view where I've got my actual tyre wear on there as well? Nah, we're fine.
We're good?
We're fine.
Yeah. We'll just wing it.
Send it. Conservatively.
Yes. So it's Alonso that's right behind you. We can make a move. Yeah. So it's back and forth. This is going to be a battle to the end. I think we might have to just rattle through towards the end here.
Alonso overtakes Gasly. What?
Yeah, unfortunately, that's
doesn't matter.
But you're back, and again,
we're back. This is going to be back
insane.
And forth, isn't it?
I'm going to push Tsunoda.
Yeah,
he's got some time and deploy. It's a ding dong battle at the front.
It's going back and forth, isn't it?
Come on!
If I can stay, either way, I'm happy. But I would love to stay 6th.
I really want to watch this, but I'm going to take it down to the last sort of 2 or 3 laps.
Yes,
I've pushed too much.
We're just speeding through because we will literally spend too much time playing this game if we're left to our own devices, as we have done.
Families to see, we have lives to get on with. But even though we would rather be
burn my fuel, full fuel send.
Full fuel send. I've got more.
Full everything send.
Yeah. Copy. So where's Yuki?
So Tsunoda's made a couple of places.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do some pits.
Overtakes Hamilton. Yes, come on! What a move! What a moment for Yuki. So we're up 3.
Just overtaken Verstappen for the lead as well.
Yeah. So we're up 3 with Yuki, and we're up 5 with Pierre, with a few more laps to go. There's a long gap between Yuki and Danny for P12. So
Gasly's built a gap from Alonso, so he's looking pretty safe.
Him. That's very well done.
Very nice.
From Pierre.
Yes.
10 seconds though on Bottas.
I don't think we're going to clear the 10 seconds to Bottas, but I think we can settle for a P6 for Gasly. I'd be happy with that.
P6 is you consider, we looked at the standings. Gas tyres.
Yeah, this could be all
2 laps to go.
All good?
Send it.
Oh my word! I've done this before and got a puncture. So I mean, if you
send it.
Yeah, all right, fine. I'll push it with.
There's enough of a gap actually. We'll probably reserve it a little bit.
So Verstappen's on his last lap. Let's just.
We're all on our last lap.
Yeah, let's just close this down.
Here we go.
The yellow flag might be because we're coming towards the race end. But come back to Pierre on board. It's looking good.
It's looking very good. I'm very happy.
I think this is now his last lap. No, he's over the line.
Yeah,
because you're on the lead lap. Because of the safety car. Yeah.
Yeah, it is a good day.
It's a good day.
It is a good day. It's a good day.
Yeah. Awesome. Right. Okay. And Yuki is
3 places gained.
Oh, it's close. You know. Let me go. Look backwards or look on the. Oh, come on.
Get that rear wing.
Slow down. Fully pushed. Overtake on. Let's keep Joe behind. Come on. Oh, is this going to be close?
Go to the rear view.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Hold on.
You're fine.
Hold on, the DRS.
No. DRS. On the line.
No. We're on the line.
Yikes.
Oh.
Wow.
People still getting a couple of bad. And it wasn't even for points, so I still feel like my heart's been ripped out from the. Oh, okay, right. P14 accepted. This should cut. Oh, yeah. So we'll probably cut to Pierre after this, and he should be very happy with this.
Be very happy after that. So that's a prediction done for chat as well, troops.
Yeah.
If you said that Gasly was going to make up the most the most places, then you were correct. So well done, congratulations.
Oh, he loves it.
He loves it. We love to see it.
P6. We had 1 point in the Constructors' Championship up to this point, so to get 6 is a heck of a result.
That's nice.
So, awesome, we made it.
We did. I'm gonna pay out this.
Pay it out.
This prediction.
So,
quickly.
Andy, I guess maybe just sum things up for us. We've run over, as I should have imagined we were, because we were enjoying ourselves too much. But that is, I mean, there's so much more we could uncover when it comes to F1 Manager 2022. But that's just a glimpse, really, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it was great. Like you guys just didn't know what was coming next in the race, right? And it's like that every single race. And that's one of the things that it's great to see. You know, you can go in with the plan of like, well, I'm going to fast forward and have a quick race, and then all of a sudden, half an hour later, you're still there playing with the ERS.
Yeah. You enjoy that, Steve? That was good?
I did, yeah. It was very nice to see Gasly climb up the ranks there. Look, 5 places gained. Overall, I think we'll hopefully have kept the board off our backs a little bit, because we were sitting a little bit lower than we'd have liked.
I think that's driver of the day material.
I would say it's driver of the day material.
Yeah.
I would say, well, who's gained more places than Pierre
Gasly?
That's
what I was saying. Nobody has gained more places.
Chat's driver of the day.
Yeah, Chat
was
DOTD.
Absolutely, yeah. So that gives you just I'd say a brief glimpse, but we went a little bit longer than we were meant to. So it gives you a slightly extended glimpse of where we are with F1 Manager 2022 at the moment. As we said, sort of throughout the stream, important to remember we are still work in progress at this point. So everything that you've seen here isn't final. We are still getting it there, aren't we?
Shall we do the official stuff?
Let's do the official stuff. You're really good at reading off the official
stuff. Right.
So
yeah. So if you've loved this, you might have just been checking out F1 Manager 2022 for the very first time today. If you're unaware, F1 Manager 2022 launches from August 25th on Steam, Epic Games Store, Xbox and PlayStation. And that's both generations: Xbox One, Series X, PS4, PS5. So lots of different platforms. Early access is August 25th, so if you pre-order the digital edition, you can play from August 25th via early access. And if you look on our website, there's a potential 10% discount you can grab as well. So
yes,
yeah, from August 25th, all those platforms. So just under 2 months to go. Official launch is August 30th if you don't pre-order, but if you do, you can play from August 25th.
Yeah.
So.
And
do you want to do it? I'll give you the honours.
One final thing.
Yeah.
If you happen to be at the Silverstone Grand Prix over this weekend, come and find us.
Yeah!
Because we have a very special booth in the fan zone, a very beautiful stage in the fan zone, where you will be able to come and play F1 Manager 2022 for yourself. Come and chat with us. If you happen to be there, if you're lucky enough to have secured a ticket for the British Grand Prix, then come and join us, come and play the game, come and say hi to us.
We'll be there. So just come say hello. Happy to answer any questions you might have about the game. And yeah, it's the first time we're actually giving the game to the general public, a very small work in progress version of the game to check out. But yeah, super exciting. I guess exciting for you to just have it in the hands of the general public for the very first time.
It's super I love seeing people playing the game and all the different approaches they take to it.
That's true.
Yeah,
we'll be doing some team principal interviews. So if you join us, you be prepared to be interviewed after the race to see how you got on. All right.
But yeah, see you at Silverstone if you're there. Come check us out at the fan zone. Come say hi.
Yeah. Thank you very much, everybody. We'll see you soon for some more information on the game. And if you're at the race, we'll see you there.
Yeah.
Cheers, folks. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.